What did your friend do that accidentally turned you on? The entire group went clubbing. He was saying something that I could not hear. He bent down and spoke against my ear. Questioned our 2 decades of platonic relationship at that second. Didn't even hear what he said. Went round to a friend's house to play D&D. She made us all nachos and chicken. At the end I went to wash up so as not to leave her with all our mess. I turned around and she put her hand on my chest, stared me straight in the eyes and told me I didn't need to help. Nothing overtly sexy, but she held my gaze and had her hand on my chest just slightly longer than would be expected. Anyway, we're married now. We were joking and she turned back, grabbed my neck and lightly strangled me. I haven't been the same ever since. Came to drop off food and medicine while I was sick. I was absolutely not in the mood, but I wish I was. We were at a party drinking and I got handed a shot. I said, "This one is going to fuck me up." He looked right at me and softly said, "Don't worry, I'll take care of you." I threw that shot straight back. A girl I became friends with on a school trip in high school fell asleep on my shoulders on the ride back. I'm still coasting on that memory. I fumbled a move one night dancing with a friend. I thought he was going to dip me, but he spun me instead. Still, my mistake was enough for him to notice, so he dipped me and said, "There, I've got you this time." No right to be as hot as it was. Tackled me. Not in a playful way either, she was trying her best to take me down, and generally succeeded. We were always just friends, but in those moments after we'd hit the ground, I sometimes felt a little different about it. She did that thing that girls do where they tilt their head. She was just listening to me talk about MRSA, we're nursing students, and she was kind of smiling, listening to me go into depth about the illness for a test review, and she ever so slightly tilted her head and kept her very pretty eyes directly on mine. That mixed with the slight smile got my stomach in knots and I just started stuttering like a fool. It only happened like a week ago. Button popped on her shirt, exposing more tit than she ever exposed around me. We ended up getting married. Going on 10 years too. It was a happy accident. I was pretty good, if not best friends with someone I never thought I would be attracted to. We were at the bar one night and I was cold. He took his favorite jacket and put it over my shoulders and hugged me. I got a feeling for him I'll never forget after that. Run their hands through my hair at the base of my neck. I asked her outside a party if my eyeliner had smudged. She took my jaw in her hands and gently but firmly turned my face back and forth to examine my makeup, then lightly patted my cheek and said it looked fine. I couldn't even thank her, I just nodded and we moved on while I gathered myself, lol. Helping me put on a tie because I didn't know how. Rolled his sleeves up and reversed perfectly. Ater. I didn't expect this to get as much attention as it did, so I'll address some questions. Yes, it was in a manual car. It was a hot summer's day, so he rolled up his sleeves before we got in the car. Yes, he did put his hand on the back of my chair. I was annoying him, so he picked me up over his shoulder and dropped me on the couch, no biggie. Was kinda hoping he'd spank me after propping me over his shoulder, but literally asked me to pick her outfits for the weekend and modeled all morning in different outfits while telling me to pick some out. Didn't leave the room to change. I was invited to a new co-worker's birthday party. She was pretty buzzed by the time I arrived and ended up introducing me to all her friends as her hot boss. I am very tactile, he isn't with anyone else, but he always would pull me next to him when we were outside and it was chilly, would sit into my space at work meetings, always put his hand on my lower back when walking me in front of him or next to him. It was nothing overtly sexual, but the fact he didn't do that with anyone else, oh my. When I, 26 female, went out for a drink one night with my friend C, 25M, there was a guy the first knew, he was hitting on me, asking me to go home with him and being really aggressive about it. I turned him down and the guy immediately turned on my friend. The guy got in C's face, saying that it was his fault that I wouldn't go home with him, that he was a cockblock. C just stood his ground, crossed his arms and told him to leave in a very calm, firm voice. The drunk guy eventually left, but it was such a turn on to see C remain so level-headed and calm in a tense situation where I'm used to guys being so reactive. It was super hot.